If you are an adult who constantly overthinks, struggles to say no, or feels an overwhelming sense of guilt whenever you try to prioritize yourself, I want you to take a deep breath. This is not a personality flaw. It is not a sign of weakness. The truth is, your brain was wired to survive the people who were supposed to protect you. Before you even knew what boundaries were, your childhood home was creating a subconscious blueprint. A blueprint that dictates how you love, how you fight, and how you view your own worth today. Today we are going deep. Welcome back to Mind Patterns. Let's look at the exact neurological and psychological ways toxic parents wired your brain and how you can finally rewrite that code. In a healthy childhood, a home is a sanctuary. When a child feels safe, their brain's prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for logic, emotional regulation, and decision-making, develops beautifully. But when you grow up with unpredictable, hypercritical, or emotionally unstable parents, your home becomes a battlefield. To keep you safe, your brain does something drastic. It shifts all its resources to the amygdala, your brain's emotional alarm system. Your amygdala is forced into constant hyper-vigilance. You learn to read the room in milliseconds. You memorize the exact heavy sound of a footsteps coming down the hallway, the subtle shift in your mother's tone of voice, or the cold silence of your father's disapproval. As an adult, this means your nervous system is permanently trapped in survival mode. You aren't just anxious, your brain is structurally wired to scan your current, peaceful relationships for invisible threats. Toxic parenting comes in different forms, and each leaves a distinct scar on your psychological architecture. First, there is the hypercritical parent. If you were constantly criticized, your brain adapted by developing a vicious internal critic. You became a perfectionist, believing that if you are absolutely flawless, no one can ever hurt or reject you again. Second, there is the emotionally absent parent. When a parent ignores your emotional needs, the child's brain translates this neglect into a terrifying core belief: I am invisible because I am not enough. This creates adults who suffer from hyper-independence, carrying every burden alone because they learn that relying on others is dangerous. And third, the parent who played the victim. If you had to manage your parents' emotional tantrums or walk on eggshells to keep them happy, you became an expert people pleaser. You learned to ignore your own emotional world to manage theirs. You became a caretaker at the expense of your own identity. The hardest part of this realization is recognizing that you have been carrying a weight that was never yours to bear. But here is the profound truth of neuroplasticity. Your brain is not set in stone. Just as your brain was wired through repetitive stress, it can be rewired through consistent, conscious self-compassion and boundaries. Healing begins when you stop trying to fix or gain validation from the very parents who broke you. You must accept that their inability to love you properly was a reflection of their own generational wounds, not your lack of value. Start small. The next time you feel that familiar spike of anxiety or the urge to people please, pause. Remind your nervous system, I am safe now. I am no longer in that house. I am allowed to have boundaries. You are teaching your amygdala that the war is finally over. The childhood you had was not your choice, but the healing you choose today is entirely in your hands. You are allowed to set down the bricks. You are allowed to walk away from the chaos. You are allowed to outgrow the people who refuse to grow up. If this video felt like a quiet mirror to your life, know that you are not alone on this path. Comment "Rewire" below if you are ready to reclaim your mind and break the cycle. Make sure to subscribe to Mind Patterns. One pattern at a time, your mind will never be the same. Thank you for being here. I'll see you in the next chapter.